Hello my dear students, welcome back to Learn Physics. In today's video, we are starting a new chapter, that is nuclei. In this chapter, most of the portions are deleted portions. Because comparing to the previous year, due to our pandemic situation, CBSE reduced the syllabus. In that reduced syllabus, only a very small portion is there in this chapter now. So we are starting with that nuclei. Okay, so what is a nucleus? Nucleus means it is at the center of the nucleus, center of an atom, right? So in atom chapter we learned the discovery of this positive charge. Nucleus is at the center, that and all we learned, right? It has positive charge, that also we learned. Now, in nucleus, apart from this positive charge, that is proton, apart from that, a chargeless particle also there, that is called a neutron. Okay, so nucleus consists of an atom. While we are considering an atom, nucleus is at the center, and around the nucleus, electrons are revolving in a particular orbit. That and all we learned from Bohr's atom model. Right, it is very stable, that and all we learned. Now we are considering only about the nucleus. So while we are considering the nucleus has protons and neutrons. Okay, so inside the nucleus we can see proton and neutron. Protons are having positive charge and here neutrons are chargeless. But protons and neutrons have mass. So when we are representing an atom, how we will represent H, Z, A. This is the representation of an atom. Right? So here what does this Z represent? Z represents the atomic number. And A represents the mass number. Okay? What is meant by a mass number and atomic number? See, suppose if I am representing carbon 612 or N714, 92 uranium 235. This and all we know. These are the some of the elements I wrote it like this. What is the meaning of this? This 12 is these are the mass numbers, which is represented above the symbol. That they are the mass number, and this below one are the atomic number. What is meant by atomic number and mass number? Atomic number represents the number of protons or electrons, because the number of protons and electrons are same in an atom. And for a stable atom, when we are considering the stable atom, that is, it is chargeless. Okay, it's completely neutral in charge. Neutral in charge, we won't say, it is completely neutral. That means it will be having equal number of protons and electrons. Electrons are having negative charge and protons are having positive charge. So if 6 protons are there, means 6 electrons also will be there for an atom. Okay, so here atomic number is means the number of protons. It gives the number of protons, or we can say number of electrons also, because number of protons and number of electrons will be the same. Therefore, Z represents the atomic number, which gives the number of protons and number of electrons. What does this A represents? Mass number. Mass number means what is the total number of protons and neutrons in an atom. Okay, proton and neutron, that is the number of proton plus number of neutrons gives you atomic number. So the mass number. Okay, mass number is the sum of proton and neutron. So if we want to find out the number of neutrons, how we can find out? The number of neutrons can be determined, number of neutrons can be determined with the help of Z minus A. Because if we know the value of Z and A, by subtracting these two, we will be, A minus Z. A minus Z will give you the number of neutrons. This is how we are finding out the number of neutrons. Now, next we are going to study about binding energy. See, we know that the electrons and electrons and protons are having some nuclear force of attraction between them. Neutrons are chargeless, so it is now not affected with the positive charge or negative charge. But there will be a binding between the this electrons and positive charge. Okay, so and an attractive force is existing between them. Okay, here protons and neutrons are also having some binding energy. So it is bound to the nucleus. The energy which is required to bind along with the nucleus. These neutrons and protons, they together called as nucleons. Okay, the energy required for the nucleons to bind in the nucleus itself, they are called a binding energy. Okay, how much of energy is required for the nucleons to exist inside the nucleus itself? So that is called a binding energy. Okay, then if we are calculating the energy of protons and neutrons, so separately the mass of proton I am considering and how many number of protons are there. Suppose Z is the number of protons, so Z into MP will be the total mass of proton. This is the total mass. If I am considering an atom XZA, in that Z represents the number of protons. So what will be the total mass of protons in this atom? Z into MP, mass of 1 proton. What will be the mass of neutron? Mass of neutron I am representing it as Mn. How many number of neutrons are there in the here in this atom? A minus Z. This is the number of neutrons, right? So what will be the total mass of this proton and neutron? ZMP and A minus Z into Mn. Okay, so this will be the calculated, while we are calculating the number of neutrons and protons and while we are multiplying with this, using this formula, while we are finding out the mass, we will be getting one mass. Right, but when we are taking the nucleus, when we are finding out the say by experimental method, when we are finding out the mass of nucleus, it will be somewhat different. It won't be, we won't be getting the same mass like the calculated value. So there is a difference between the mass, original mass of nucleus and the mass which we are calculating in this way. That difference. A difference is that this will be little bit more than the calculated this experimental method. So when we are finding out, if we are finding out the difference between these two masses, mass of the nucleus minus this value will give you a difference in mass, that is called as mass defect. Okay, there will be a change in mass between the calculated value and the experimental value. So that defect is called as, if we are separately finding out the mass and when we are experimental value and the calculated value, what is the main difference? We are calculating at the mass of the nucleus alone. And while we are taking the proton, neutron and separately and finding out, we will get another answer. So what is the reason behind the difference? Because that energy is called as binding energy. Binding energy we can, so this difference in mass can be converted to energy. What is the value of energy? How we will be converting mass into energy? Using our famous Einstein's mass energy equation, that is E equals mc square. E equals mc square. Using this formula, we will be converting the mass defect to energy, delta m into c square. That will give you binding energy. Okay, binding energy for a separate nucleon. Each nucleon we can find out the binding energy. Okay, delta m into c square as the binding energy, delta m as the mass defect. Okay, and one more thing, how we can convert, usually this mass and all we will be representing in terms of atomic mass unit. 1 AMU we can represent it as 1 AMU equals 931 mega electron volt. Usually questions will be, it's not usually, the questions are asked from this portion, that is for finding out the mass defect and binding energy per nucleon, that and all questions may come. Okay, so clear children, this is about the binding energy and mass defect. Next we are going to study about the nuclear fission and fusion. So nuclear fission, these are nuclear reactions. Nuclear reaction means, see, nuclear reaction are of two types: nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Fission means one nucleus, one bigger nucleus will be splitting up into component nucleus, small nuclei. They are called as nuclear fission. If small nuclei combining together and forming a bigger nuclei, that is called a nuclear fusion. So nuclear fission, we will be doing it in a controlled manner. In a controlled manner, nuclear fission will happen, that is nuclear reactor. Inside the nuclear reactor, nuclear fission is happening. Okay, so if 92, let's see here, this is a radioactive element, 92 uranium-235. When it is bombarding with a neutron, what will happen? It will be dividing, it may divide into barium, krypton, and it's not compulsory always we should get barium and krypton only. So when it is, so along with that, some energy also will be released. How that energy will be releasing? Because of this mass defect. Okay, energy will be released. That is why a large amount of energy will be released during these processes: nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. In nuclear fission, we will be getting the binding, bigger nuclei will be splitting it into smaller one, and in nuclear fusion, smaller nuclei will be converting to bigger nuclei. Okay, in stars and all, this nuclear fusion only is happening. Nuclear fusion is happening in bigger stars. Stars mainly, main source of energy is sun. So sun, in sun also the same nuclear fusion process only happening. Okay, so next we are going to study what are the processes which is taking place in the nuclear reactor. Next is about the nuclear reactor. In nuclear reactor, which process is happening? Nuclear fission. Nuclear fission process is happening in the nuclear reactor. Nuclear fission, I told you, a larger nuclei, bigger nuclei will be splitting it into component, a small nuclei. That is called that is nuclear fission. In nuclear reactor, in a controlled manner, nuclear fission process will be happening. Okay, their main parts are, it has a fuel, nuclear fuel inside that. It is made in uranium-235, 233 and plutonium-239. These are the fuels which we are using in nuclear reactor. So when it is bombarding with a small neutron, what will happen? It will be splitting it into its component, its smaller nuclei, and along with that, more number of neutrons will be ejected, and very high amount of energy also will be coming out. So these, each neutron will be bombarding with other uranium atoms. So if I am considering uranium 92 uranium-235. So first 92 uranium-235 will be bombarding with one neutron. Barium and krypton, along with that 3 neutrons will be produced, and some energy also will be released. So here 3 neutrons are there, right? So those 3 neutrons again will be undergoing 3 fission. Same way 3 fission reaction. So here also 3 neutrons will be released each time. So it is moving in a uncontrolled way. It is moving. Okay. So what should we do? When we are doing the nuclear reactor, inside the nuclear reactor, this nuclear reaction will be happening in a controlled manner. So that is why we will say this as a chain reaction. Again multiplying multiplying in many ways. See here, one neutron only it is bombarded. So 3 neutrons came out. So those 3 neutrons again giving, each one will be giving 3. See, then think about the chain reaction. How how powerful it will be. Okay, so in a controlled manner means here we will be using moderators. Okay, moderators will be helping to slow down the neutrons. So it won't be having this, it won't be having that much, particular energy is required for these neutrons. Particular velocity is required for these neutrons. So moderators will be trying to slow down the neutrons. Okay, so therefore as moderators we will be using heavy water and graphite. Then next is control rods. Control rods will be absorbing the neutrons. Boron, cadmium are used as control rods. If the number is increasing, what will happen? If the number is increasing, the control rods will be coming into action. Actually, nuclear fuel will be keeping it like this. Inside the reactor, here control rods will be there. So if the reaction is going in an uncontrolled way, they will be putting this inside this, and here reaction won't be happening afterwards. So it will be absorbing the slow neutrons. Then next is, so large amount of energy is releasing, right? So here we are using coolant. Okay, heat energy is producing, so coolant will be used. Mainly at ordinary temperature we will be using water or heavy water, but if it is at very high temperature we will be using liquid sodium. Liquid sodium is used at very high temperature. And here, multiplication factor. What is meant by multiplication factor? Here we will be finding out the ratio between the number of neutrons which is produced in the present situation divided by the number of neutrons produced in the preceding situation. Okay, at present how many number of neutrons are produced, and the previous one how many number of neutrons are produced. If the value is equal to, so this multiplication factor is very important here in the case of nuclear reactor. If that multiplication factor is equal to 1, then it is going in a critical manner. Okay, nuclear reaction is critical, so we should use more amount of moderators or control rods. We should effectively use those things, okay, to slow down the neutrons. So if it is K equal to 1, so present value divided by the previous value, if it is equal to 1, it is critical. So if it is going in an uncontrolled manner, we should use the moderator and control rods. So to take it into it should always be, see, the next generation, next time when the neutrons are coming, it should be lower than the previous one. Okay, it should be lower than the previous one. So it should always be below 1. Then only it is safe. If it is equal to 1 or greater than 1, it will be going, if greater than 1 means supercritical stage it will be. So these are the things which you should know about the nuclear reactor. Okay, only this much is there in the nuclei section, and here to find out the mass defect, binding energy, nothing. After finding out the mass defect, you can just multiply it with C square or 931. You will be getting the binding energy. Okay children, so I thought of doing some numericals related to this, but its calculation is very tedious because 1.0093 like that mass of proton will be there, mass of neutron will be there. So with the formula you can directly apply. That is not many things to think, I guess. So today I am not doing the numericals related to this. So I hope this chapter is useful for you and it is clear for you. And if you want any further clarification, the previous videos I will be giving in the description box. You can check the playlist. Okay children. So that's all for today. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.